Whether your student organization is a brand new student organization to Collin College or it's an established student organization, chances are something's going to come up where your organization needs money. Whether it's money to go ahead and travel to a conference or to purchase items for your organization like organizational tablecloths, banners, t-shirts, things like that. So one of the ways that you're able to go ahead and get money is through the Safac committee, and that's the Student Activity Fee Advisory Committee. What this committee does, it's actually a panel of individuals, of which there are about 9 of us currently on the committee, and of those members, 5 of those members are students who have been appointed by the Student Government Association, or SGA. The remaining 4 members are individuals who have been appointed by the president of Collin College. Now, Safac fees can be used for a number of different things. As I've said, the important thing to remember is that any Safac funds that are awarded have to directly involve and benefit students. That's primary because it's student fee money that's using to go ahead and fund these events. As I've said, there are different things that Safac fees have been used for in the past, whether it's either organizations going to go travel to a conference or attending an organizational program, cultural event, having a guest speaker come in, and as I said, they've also been used to go ahead and purchase items like banners, t-shirts, and tablecloths. For more information on this, you can always go ahead and take a look at the Money Matters information section of the Student Organization Procedures Manual. One important thing to remember though is if your organization is traveling, only members of record of your organization can travel. So if your organization is wanting to travel somewhere, only members of your organization are allowed to go ahead and travel. Now, as I said, student organizations are eligible to request funds from Safac, but there are some important things that need to take place. Your organization has to have a clear mission statement. You have to be recognized for at least 1 semester. You need to be registered and up to date on OrgSync, and you also need to be in good standing with Collin College. Now for this next portion, I figured it'd be best to go ahead and show you this on OrgSync so that you're able to get this exact view. As you can see, in order to be able to go ahead and get to Safac on OrgSync, go here into the Search Anything bar and just simply type in SAFAC. And as you can see, this will bring up a number of different items. What you're going to look at is you're going to look at this particular item right here, which is the Safac file, which is where if you go in here, what this will do is it will show you both the current funding request form as well as the meeting dates list. As you go ahead and pull up here, this will give you the chance to go ahead and download that particular file, and as you go ahead and open it, what it will do is it will go ahead and then show you what dates the Safac committee meets for the upcoming academic year. As you can see on here, this will show you all the information with regards to when those meeting dates are going to take place. So for instance, for the past academic year, you can see what dates information needs to be submitted in by in order to be able to be heard at a respective upcoming Safac meeting. So for example, if your organization wanted to be heard at the September 12th meeting, your packet had to be turned in no later than 4:00 p.m. on Wednesday, September 3rd. And the reason why we do that is to give us time to go ahead and review the packet to make sure all the necessary information is in there. If there's any information that's missing, we can then go ahead and follow back up with you to go ahead and obtain that additional information prior to you coming in to the Safac meeting. If it's an incomplete packet, unfortunately the committee cannot hear the request. So it's important to make sure that you fill it out as completely as possible. As I indicated on here as well, as I go ahead and back up 1 page, let's go this way. This is also where you'll find the current Safac funding request form, where if you go ahead and take a look at this, what it will do is it will show you all the information that's needed to go ahead and complete your Safac funding request. You'll need to go ahead and make sure that you fill this out completely and entirely with as much information as possible. If there's any information on here that's missing when it's turned in, someone from the Safac committee will then go ahead and follow up with you to request that additional information. As you can see on the second page, this is where it specifically asks for as much detailed information with regards to what the event is or what it is that you're wanting to acquire money from, who all will take place in the event, who's invited to participate, how will it be publicized, etc. You're also asked to include an itemized budget for the event, where you're listing out exactly what each item will cost, what the final total cost will be, as well as any additional supporting documentation. For example, if your organization is wanting to go ahead and travel, you'll need to go ahead and make sure that you're providing the supporting documentation that shows exactly how much your airfare costs are estimated to be. Please make sure that you're adding a $30 booking fee per person, that you're getting a quote for any hotels that you're going to stay in. As it does state within here, it is important to note that state hotel tax is exempt in the state of Texas. Local and specialty taxes do have to be paid. All out-of-state hotels, all taxes have to go ahead and be paid. Any registration documentation, transportation costs, that being transportation to and from the airport. So if your organization is wanting to go ahead and provide transportation to the airport, more often than not, individuals will go ahead and transport themselves. But say as you arrive in your destination city, the transportation from the airport to your conference hotel. As it does state on here, a student event request form is required for all student organizations. This should be completed for all on and off campus events, trips, and conferences. And after you submit your request via OrgSync, what you'll do is you'll attach a copy of that request to your Safac funding request so that we know that that has indeed been submitted in. And finally, you'll need to include a list of attendees. Everyone from your organization who is planning on attending needs to be listed on there. It is important to note, as it does state on here, do not include Social Security or student identification numbers with this list. Currently, Student Life is in the process of updating our Safac forms. What we're actually in the process of doing, which should be available by fall 2015, is we are creating a Student Activity Fee Advisory Committee portal, where just like your event request, you'll go ahead and simply fill out your event request on the portal. The same information is listed on here as was listed on the information that we just saw in the files. And what you would do to go ahead and submit your funding request in is you would go ahead and submit your request in here under the Safac funding request form. And this brings up the page where you would simply go ahead and click Go to Form. And the same information is provided here, where it asks for all this information in terms of what all you need to provide in. And then you would then go ahead and begin your form and fill out.